If you love Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre and crave that nostalgic tactical RPG experience, then Sword of Convallaria is for you. It's a tactical RPG with gacha elements brought to us by XD, the makers of Torchlight Infinite. So for those who haven't seen my demo review of Sword of Convallaria, you can check it out in the description. It covers some of the topics we're going to cover here, so I'll glaze over those instead of fully going on in depth. Sword of Convallaria is a good game on its own. The game story has an interesting take where you play the present in the game's free-to-play section called the Spiral of Destinies, while you learn more about the past in the energy-based section called the Fool's Journey. Having branching storylines in the Spiral of Destinies mode creates room for replayability, and being able to unlock cutscenes rewards players with the in-game currency, while in the Fool's Journey, you get rewards for clearing stages the first time. The gameplay loop here is that once you run out of energy to use in the Fool's Journey, you can then jump into the Spiral of Destinies to pass some time and have fun there. Each mode has their own individual roster of units you can use. However, you can bring any 3 units from your Gacha Team to the Spiral of Destinies to spice up your experience. The game has a great combat system where players fight with type advantages and you can use strategic tactics that can augment your team or do damage to enemy units. There are field traps and field augments that can also help you in combat as well, from boulders that can easily one-shot enemies to barrels that blow up and do damage to an area. Knowledge of your terrain and its hazards can swing the fight to your advantage. My favorite one that I've encountered is when you just drop enemies off a cliff, and that's an easy -1 to the enemy forces. If you got a strong team built and you just want to run some battles, you can actually just have the game play in auto mode and the AI just does it for you. Just don't expect a lot of intelligence. Now that we have the game in full access and we can discuss some of the things that Sword of Convallaria does well, the game offers you domains to access called Crossing Worlds. The first one you get is the EXP Domain, pretty self-explanatory. The other domains you have to enter is where it gets interesting. Characters have their own types. Seekers are your assassins, defenders are your tanks, breakers work best against defenders, destroyers are mostly mages and the big damage dealers, and watchers can range from healers, archers, and the best waifu in the game, Gloria. You can enter challenges called rank up trials, and you would need to farm these in order for you to rank up your characters. Ranking up units allows them to learn more active abilities and passives, and even just straight up stats. Ranking up is a major thing in Sword of Convallaria. Characters can level up in ranks every 5 levels, and once you choose a skill for your character, you're stuck with that chosen skill unless you have a Custodius, which allows you to activate the other skill slot. In my opinion, this does limit some players with how they want to play their units and basically pigeonhole players into a certain meta composition for ranking up. Farming Custodius is also hard at this point of the game where you don't get a lot of Custodia. For now, I suggest players follow guides to avoid messing up some of your units. Sword of Convallaria doubles down on the character classes with a system called Talents. You can complete star trials in the Crossing Worlds, and these trials reward you with stardust and star particles. You will need these to activate a talent tree for each of your unit classes. You can learn tactical spells and buff your unit stats in the talent tree. If you enjoy playing Seekers, you can build their talent trees and just have them wreak havoc on the battlefield. Weapons and armor are also found in the Crossing Worlds. You can find items that allow you to rank up weapons and armor and the materials required to be used as experience. They also have things called turrets or trinkets. If you've ever played other gacha games, the trinkets are the items that have hidden stats on them, so you have to level these up to a certain level and unlock what stats they hide. However, you can actually see how good the stats on these trinkets are supposed to be based on the symbols, and they are in tiers such as common, rare, epic, and legendary. Weapon duplicates can be used to enhance the weapons and increase the effects they offer, and the same goes for armor. To be honest, I do appreciate how the weapons and armor have regular stats on them and you don't have to pray to all of the gods that you get max rolls when upgrading them. This does remove some of the grind for players, and you'd only need to maximize trinket or turret farming. Memory retrieval has to be the best thing Sword of Convallaria implemented. This allows players to farm fragments for their SSR, 5-star, or legendary units. You can increase their star levels, which increases their effectiveness in battle either by increasing their stat blocks, providing them buffs, or increasing energy regeneration. So for those people who are lucky and got their desired legendary units, you can hit the spot daily until you get enough memory fragments to star up your units. I totally love this feature because free-to-play players don't need to spend too much on banners and if they want to power up their units. All other gacha games have that challenge where you have to beat enemies per floor or per level, and for Sword of Convallaria, it's called the Tower of Conquest. Think of it like the Spiral Abyss, and you gain rewards per floor cleared, and if you defeat 5 floors during the weekly refresh, you also gain in-game currency. This also serves as a test for players who have optimized their teams and basically a weekly time sink for in-game currency farming. You can auto the early floors as they'll be really weak, however upon reaching floors 3 upwards, you'll have to start playing more strategically. Lastly, Arena Mode. This pits the players in a semi-PvP type playstyle where challengers will have to attack enemy defenses and destroy as many structures the enemy has. Players can set their best units to defend banners, towers, and these fountain-looking things. You can gain ranks as you play through the arena mode, and you can get a lot of rewards when the season ends. However, this does affect F2P players who get matched up with someone who has a maxed out team, so choose your battles wisely. And yes, I know it's called Clash, but arena mode does sound a lot more better. Quick side note, there's this thing called Engraving, however we won't be able to use it until we hit the 8th chapter in the Fool's Journey, so that may take some more time and won't be included in this video. Before I forget, building bonds with your units is an important feature the game introduced as well. You can receive an avatar upon reaching bond level 2 and use that as your profile picture and increase your unit stats. It's not a mandatory thing, however, if you really have a character you'd like to bond up with, you'd be able to get more tidbits of their story via this mode. You even get special cutscenes that has voice acting too.
団長は帰るの遅すぎ。いつもこんな遅くまで働いてダメでしょ？ちゃんと休まなきゃ。わかってますか？
Now that we've discussed most of the gameplay features on release, let's talk about the things I liked and disliked about the launch. I like how the translations for some scenes have improved, however there are some noticeable bad translations and that's just me being a stickler for it. Other than that, the writing is great. I appreciate how the levels also have some sort of difficulty in them, especially in the Spiral of Destinies. I love brute forcing levels and this adds a layer of challenge. I kind of like how the game also throws some tips around and asks you if you'd like those tips as well. Now, the game has a lot of great launch bonuses which I'm happy about, and I do hope that they will create more modes in the future for us to enjoy. Personally, the game really needs shortcuts for the keyboard. Pressing C for characters, or like T for talent, or maybe S for standby whenever you want to end your turn, would make it a lot more easier to play on the PC instead of just clicking. Other than that, I'm just sad that I didn't get to keep my progress in the demo. Another thing I noticed is that there's tons of monetization for a launch. I like how there's an event banner plus a double up banner, however there's 5 banners in total to pump your in-game currency into. This doesn't surprise me because you see this in Torchlight Infinite as well. The Battle Pass doesn't really offer anything post level 50, but you do have a legendary weapon selector. You got another Battle Pass called Call's Collection, and there's the daily login ticket. And the worst thing I didn't like is that there's no regional pricing. I'm sure that we're all about making that bank, however, you don't need to break your player base's bank too. Sword of Convallaria is a game that you play when you're free, and it doesn't really need a full-time commitment either. If you're playing it for the story, then stock up on all of those endurance potions, let the energy recharge, and have fun learning the past and the present and all the other branching stories together with all of the complexities of Sword of Convallaria. The gacha may put you off, but I believe XD has a banger on their hands. While waiting for that Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, I'll hang here in Sword of Convallaria for the meantime. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. This helps me out with the algorithm and pushes the video through the YouTubes. Who's your main in Sword of Convallaria? Do you prefer a specific class over the other? Should this game be its own game for $20 to $30? Let me know what you think in the comments. This has been your boy AndroidPAW, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.